All right, guys, here we go. Practice review 13. Unbelievable, 13 already. Only 16 before Christmas break, which is crazy. Okay, so first three, just sketch these basic graphs right here. The first one says negative sign. Then we go 4 ticks, 2 pi, 1 pi, positive 1, negative 1. This is a reminder the amplitude on this one's 1. The period is 2 pi because there's the A and B are both 1. Sine usually starts at 0 and goes up, down, up, but because the negative's in the front, it's been reflected across the x-axis, so it's going to start here and go down, up, down. Just need to draw one period right there, and there's that one. Number 2, cosine, just regular cosine. Amplitude is 1, period is 2 pi because A and B are both 1. I'm going 4 ticks, that's 2 pi, 1 pi, going up to 1, down to negative 1. Cosine usually starts at 1 and goes down, up, which is what this one's going to do because there's no negative in the front. And the last one, the first set, is tangent. Remember with tangent, it's been a couple days since we've done a tangent. You go to power 2 and negative power 2. That's where the asymptotes are. So I'm going to put an asymptote through there, an asymptote through there. The graph, remember, crosses in between the two asymptotes, right in the middle. If you go halfway over, you go up 1. If you go halfway over, you go down 1. The tangent graph looks like that right there. That's tangent. 4 says determine the amplitude, period, phase shift, and sketch the graph. So the amplitude on this one's 1. That's the number in the front. The period is 2 pi divided by 2, which is just 1 pi. There is no phase shift, so I'm just going to put 0 there. Remember, phase shift is where we start. There's nothing added or subtracted in the parentheses. So I'm going 4 ticks, which is pi. That's halfway to pi, which is pi over 2. The amplitude is 1, negative 1. This is sine. Sine starts at 0, goes up, down, up. It's going to connect those just like that. Number 13, same deal. Let's put the stuff down here. The amplitude is 3, number in the front. The period is just 2 pi because there's nothing in front of the x. The phase shift, you do the opposite of c, which is negative pi, so I'm going to put positive pi, over b, which is 1, so just pi. Remember, the phase shift is where you start your graph, so I'm going to start my graph at pi. I'm going to go 2 pi away, so I'm really adding pi plus 2 pi, that's 3 pi, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 3 pi. Halfway between those two is 2 pi. I'm going to go up to 3, down to negative 3 on my y-axis. It's cosine. Cosine usually starts up at 1, but because the amplitude's 3, it starts at 3, it goes down, up. So the graph's going just like that. There's 12. All right, 13, 14 say determine the amplitude, period, and phase shift. You don't have to graph these, just tell the stuff, okay? So the amplitude is 2, number in the front. The period is going to be 2 pi divided by the number in front of the x, which is 1/2. Keep, change, flip right there. 2 pi times 2 times 1, which is 4 pi. And then the phase shift is the opposite of c, which is pi over 2 over b, which is 1/2. Again, keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep the pi over 2, change to 1/2. Those cancel. I get pi. That's all you got to do. No graph on these. The second one, amplitude is 3. Period is going to be 2 pi divided by b, which is 4. So it's going to be pi over 2. And then the phase shift is going to be the opposite of c, which is positive pi over 4. And there's that one. Okay, obviously I did a crazy job numbering that test. Okay, now it's all review, which is what we need because we're getting closer and closer to semester exam. Number 8, find an equation in a circle. There's the center. Guys, the center goes inside your parentheses. All right, just like this. And we're looking for what goes over here. Way back in the day, we would say, why does the circle pass through 3, 7? And the answer was, because it works. It works in the equation. So I'm going to plug a 3 right in there for the x, 7 for the y. Now, when I plug 3 in there, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 squared is 16. When I plug 7 in there, 7 minus 4 is 3, 3 squared is 9. Add the 16 and the 9 is 25. Guys, your answer is that equation right there. Even though I use the numbers down here, those numbers are not part of the answer. Don't include those. All right, number 9, given that sine x is negative 4/5 and in quadrant 3, find the other 5. So first of all, cosecant is reciprocal of sine, so I know right away that's negative 5/4. Now, the other thing I know is that r equals the square root of x squared plus y squared. All right, now, r, remember sine is y over r, so r is 5. And I know I need x squared. I know y because sine is y over r. So negative 4 squared would be 16. I'm going to square both sides right there. That's 25. That's just going to be x squared plus 16. Move that 16 over, you get 9. The square root would be plus or minus 3. You got to choose whether it's plus or minus. Because it says we're in quadrant 3, x is negative 3. So here we go. Cosine would be negative 3. The x over r, secant is reciprocal of that. Tangent is y over x. The y is the negative 4. The x is negative 3. So it's 4/3. That's a 4, not a y. And then cotangent would be 3/4. Hope that makes sense. Number 10, give the exact value. You can use your circle here. So I'm really looking at pi over 6. Cosine pi over 6 is square root of 3 over 2. So think about what quadrant we're in. If I'm going 5/6 of the way to pi, like pi is right there. So if I go 5/6 of the way, I'm almost there, which puts me in quadrant 2. Cosine is x. X is negative in quadrant 2. So there's that. Number 11, again, factor cubes. Small, big, cube root, square the first, multiply together, change the sign, square the second. And there's that. Number 12, write a slope-intercept equation for a line that passes through negative 4, 6, and is parallel and perpendicular, so 2 parts to that line right there. Now, when I'm looking at that equation they gave me, what I know is the slope is 4. That's what I know. So there's my slope. There's my point. Point slope. So I'm going to go y minus the 6 equals 4 times x plus 4. Remember, it's opposite when you put it in there. So distribute the 4. This takes 2 steps. Distribute the 4 just like that, and then move the 6 over. If I move the 6 over there, it becomes plus 6, which is plus, I shouldn't have done that, plus 22. Okay, there's the parallel. That's part A. Part B says perpendicular. To do perpendicular, I'm doing the same point. The only difference is my slope. Remember, the slope for perpendicular is opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to take that 4, flip it, and change the sign. And I'm just going to do the 2 steps again. So I'm going to distribute the negative 1/4. Negative 1/4 times 4 is negative 1. Let's move the 6 over. If I move that 6 over, it becomes plus 6, which means that becomes plus 5. Got it. 13, you're going to need your calculator on this one. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have my calculator here with me, but you're going to go to Stat, Edit. You're going to punch these numbers in, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go punch those in also. And then you're going to go to Stat, Calc, and you're going to click LinReg. You want LinReg. I think it's number 4, but like I said, I'm at home. I don't have my calculator with me. And it's going to come up and give you the equation, whatever the equation is. Also, after you punch these in, I forgot this part, you need to go to your stat plot and hit zoom 9, and you should see some kind of scatter plot that you need to put there also. And don't forget to tell what R is. All right, so 3 things. Equation, what is R? 4 things. Scatter plot, and then you got to predict 2015. So whatever you got for your equation, whatever you got, something x plus something, and what I'm gonna do is, because 2015 would be your 10, you're gonna plug 10 for x and just work it out. I'm sorry about that, guys. I forgot my calculator. That doesn't help a whole lot. Hope it makes some sense. Okay, last 3. Describe the transformations for the absolute value. Okay, there's a bunch here. There's a negative in the front, so I'm going to put, okay, that means it reflects across the x-axis. There's a 3 in the front, which means it's a vertical. It's outside, though. Vertical stretch by 3. There's a plus 2 inside, which means it shifts to the left 2. And there's a minus 5 outside, which means it shifts down 5. And that's that one. Number 15, find the slope of this line, because that's standard form. The quick 2 ways to do it, but the best way is just do negative a over b. You can always find the slope in standard form that way. So that would give me negative 4, which is negative a, over negative 8, which is b. That's just 1/2. The other way to do it is put that thing in slope-intercept form and, see what the slope is. And 15, don't miss this one tomorrow, or 16, whatever number that is. And then numbers are crazy on this thing. Name at least one thing that you're thankful for. Why? I'm thankful for, I'm going to put y'all, because I am. It's been a great year so far. Appreciate you guys more than you think. So, hope it helps. Come see me tomorrow if you need me. Good luck.